It's your boy Fama DAC, Hustle Town Network, Go To Soccer.
This is Queen Cazaret.
What up, man? It's your boy Infamous Tex, Hustle Town Network, Exotic Pop, all the biggest radio stations in Houston, man. I don't know, all kinds of pillars of the community. We out here right now.
Hey, and it's your girl Maria Sayas.
Ooh-wee.
Man, today's a big one. Today's a gun violence awareness segment today for media from the streets. This is a beautiful day that, you know what I'm saying, we come together, and I'm thankful for it. Thank God that we could be able to come together and make sure that we bring awareness to the community.
Definitely.
Yep.
Amen.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Queen, what do you think about it? What's
Man, so definitely what brought us together is, an event that we were all planning.
Yeah.
Halloween. You want to
Yeah.
talk about that? Let them know
So you're right.
what
so
kind of changed things.
yeah, so October 31st, we were supposed to have a Halloween haunted house event at Tequila Bees, but days before we lost a good friend of ours, BJ, and RIP BJ,
Man.
because it was a big old turnaround when days before our event, and
Tragic loss.
Tragic loss. It was
Tragic loss,
it was
no words.
it was
Definitely.
unexpected. It was so heartbroken.
Yeah.
Everybody came and just was in a different world. So
Right.
I feel like
What made it impactful is he was just such a big part of all of our business plans coming up.
Definitely.
And he was someone that was definitely a pillar in the community because he was able to maintain a platform and a business operation where artists and event planners could come and utilize and plan the dopest events
Yes.
and
Definitely.
come do their best fucking show sets that
For
they've
sure.
ever done
Yeah.
at his places and establishments.
Sure.
So he was that person behind the scenes. You wouldn't know who he is unless you know, but he was making things happen and
Definitely.
definitely blessing.
Yeah.
I met him through Hustle Town Network, and he's definitely been a big part of a lot of the events that he did,
Oh, yeah.
right, Tex?
Oh yeah, it was a huge hit for the North Side, man. Everybody in the North Side of H-Town, they knew him. Everybody knows each other. These
Sure.
spots that we go and frequent. Of course, it's rare when something like a tragedy like this happens, but it can happen. And this is one of the. That's why I'm glad that y'all put this together right here because
Yes, sir.
it is something that does need to be talked about. But back to BJ, aka Steve. We all know him different. Steve or BJ. Everybody knew him as BJ though.
Yeah.
But he opened his doors to us on numerous occasions, even before Tequila Bees. Matter of fact, I met Fam for the first time. I met him. He actually started working with us at Main Street Tap and Grill, which was that was his spot also.
Yes.
And then after Main Street Tap and Grill, he owned the One Club. So in spring. So I mean, the past 3 years, almost 3 years already.
Yeah.
We've been using his venues for a lot of our shows.
Facts.
And, we had Straight Out Texas 8 over there. We've had, Straight 9, 10, all of them to the One Club. And then once the One Club closed down, they had Tequila Bees. And now we're officially back at the North Side, which Tequila Bees used to be Vada's, the classic, Vada's place from back in the day. And, Steve wanted to bring it back and bring a nice new place to the Heights because the Heights has a lot of new places. It ain't like as hood as it used to be.
That's true.
So he
Yeah,
just
a
wanted
lot
to
of
have a
potential.
nice, friendly establishment. Make it more of a, I don't know. I mean, he had emo night. He had different
Yeah.
stuff.
Versatility.
It wasn't just a hip hop thing, or it wasn't just the Tejano and
Yeah, I love that.
the Tias and the Tios type of thing. It was everybody, But
Yeah.
man, he was a great guy. And again, if you've been to any of our shows in the past 3 years, you probably have met him.
I actually
yeah.
never met him, and I was, but I performed at Tequila Bees, and I was really excited for the Halloween event. I feel like it was going to be so big.
Oh, it
So
was.
many people to connect with. Like I was going to meet with Queen, and we was going to do interviews. It was definitely so unexpected, and I think it is very important that we have these safe spaces together to get it. For artists to find a nice spot to perform at and connect with other artists, like we
Yeah.
have to take care of those safe havens, especially in the Heights. So it was
Yeah.
such a huge hit, and even though I didn't meet him personally, it
You
affected.
felt it.
I
You
felt
still
it.
felt
I
it.
felt it
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I had the honor, my last occasion with him, my last memory of him was him taking up for me, you know, to one of his customers. It was one of those nights where I went into Tequila Bees, not to perform, but just to go have fun. And there's always those people that, because I meet a lot of people, right? So there's always those people who get offended when you don't remember them. Like, oh, you don't remember me? And, oh, you know, my name is this and that. And I'm like, trying to remember, well, where do I know you from? Where do I know you from? Well, I'm thinking, okay, was this someone I met when I was with my ex? So I was like, you know, oh, I'm so-and-so's ex, and oh, I didn't know you were so-and-so's ex. And so BJ swiftly came in and was like, no, that ain't so-and-so's ex. That's Queen Cazaray. You know what I'm saying? And he checked him real quick, and he had gave me my flowers. Basically, that was him acknowledging me. To me, that's how I took it as a business, you know, owner, because I operate my own business, and him just saying, hey, you're holding your own. That's, you don't just identify with your past. Like, you are that girl right now. So that was a good memory to have of him. But definitely, big pillar, big hit for all of us. And so, with that.
But the thing is, too, to get off this one, it's more of a big old hit because he also helped build what we was doing the day of for Halloween. So what's next? Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to everybody who's involved with the what's next event.
The Halloween.
And
event.
he actually added the HTX. He said because we have put just what's
HTX?
next. He said put HTX on there. It sounds better.
Tex did that for me with Forever Faded.
That's hard.
He was like, Forever Faded HTX.
Yes,
and I'm like,
see,
yes.
but see, that's good business thinking. That's what BJ was. He was also somebody like that. He was definitely somebody who saw the vision and executed the vision.
And we were so excited to work with What's Next because for me, I know you had already worked with them a couple times. It was going to be my first time.
Yes.
So yeah, but we wanted to still take all that energy that we were getting ready to do this amazing event together, right? And we wanted to go ahead and still put it to purpose. Like make it count for something. So that's what tonight is, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Gun violence awareness.
Yes,
we want to discuss a few topics.
Starting off with accountability.
Yes.
Accountability.
We kind of went over some things, and I, wanted to highlight what I think that we should do within our community more is hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of problems and issues that go on that we may witness. People acting erratic, people acting crazy, and we just turn a blind eye, or oh, that's none of my business, or oh, I'm snitching if I, call the authorities and, report this abuse, or, I just feel like people who tend to use guns or crash out on the deep end to kill someone have to show signs prior to getting to that point. And if we as a people could hold each other accountable for our behaviors and our actions, it kind of wouldn't be so easy to just crash out.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
So I don't know. How do you feel about, situations with accountability or the lack thereof?
So me personally, when it comes to accountability, I feel like it's more to how you treat yourself when it's in someone's establishment and with yourself if you are a gun owner. If you're a gun owner, you should be already knowing what I'm getting myself into. You shouldn't go in
the
somebody's
possibility.
Yes, you shouldn't go in nobody's establishment knowing that something to happen.
Yeah.
I need to protect myself from somebody. That's on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Now other person got to watch out for themselves. So
You got to be mentally stable. I feel like you
Exactly.
For sure.
Some people don't belong having guns. I'll put it that way.
Yes,
some
sir.
people are made for a sale. Let's be real.
Yes,
So
sir.
some people, the second they get a gun, they're excited. They want to use it. There's people that will almost start shit. Sometimes,
Yeah.
excuse my language, but that
Because
will start
because
they
got
just
a
know
gun.
they have it and they know that they really
I
want to
know.
pop that
It's
thing. It's just
ego.
like it's itching
Yeah.
for them to do that. Or sometimes they want to do it, not even usually in the young phase where they want to do it to gain stripes.
Yeah.
Or there are a lot of rappers that are getting into shit because they need that, or they want to start, they want to have
What they
that
call
on their
motion.
resume, and unfortunately, a lot of young
Ignorance.
lives get killed and get lost in the process. Parents have to have their kids go to prison and shit like that at a young age because of that. But that's one thing about it too.
That's why I think I was like romanticizing it. We have to be careful about what image and what message we're putting out there. Like these songs of little rappers, like you were saying, like they're like flaunting a gun or acting like you had a struggled life when you really don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
But to try to gain the stripes, you know what I mean? So
Or the look.
the look.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful and make what's really cool nowadays. You know what I mean? Dying and over a simple argument is not cool. So yeah, I think that we definitely need to.
And then I know there's a big presence with it in domestic violence as well. I've been through a few domestic violence situations where there was a time where an the female ex, sent people to shoot up her baby daddy's studio establishment
Oh shit.
Man.
and
Not
his
okay.
tia's home while he was in the home,
Scary.
yeah. So I've been a witness to these things. I've lived through them, and it's crazy to see it.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing was who's holding these family members accountable
Yeah.
when they're acting crazy? Because I'm pretty no, let's not say pretty sure. There were countless of other incidents with that person, violent acts with that person before it turned into a shooting. Where do we, start to check
Definitely.
our loved ones, even though they're the mother of our child and we want the best for them? Hey, they gotta want the best for themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
What are we telling our loved ones? Sometimes it's tough love.
Yeah.
Accountability is tough love.
It is
What are we
definitely.
telling our loved ones when they act out and then they start breaking shit or they hurt someone or hit someone or, it starts with mental and emotional abuse, and then what are we telling them when we allow them to
Definitely.
continue to do that? So,
Like you said, you're turning a blind eye. Like, we have to hold each other accountable. Like, even the snitching, we don't have to snitch on someone right away. Just check that person, or you are allowing that to happen. Like, you're taking
what is
part of
snitching?
it.
Text?
I don't know, man, because I think a lot of people like stuff that could be avoided, like certain issues. I think it doesn't get avoided because people, again, they don't want to snitch or they don't want to. I do like the idea of what you said about people more now being responsible for being the one to check somebody. That is something that should be done now instead of just watching and trying to be like,
Get
well, I
the
don't want to
tea,
snitch.
gossiping.
Because what happens is sometimes people are now accomplice because of knowing certain things or
Yeah,
being there.
and not saying
because they
anything.
didn't snitch doesn't mean that you're not going to get in trouble too. If they find out
Hey, what's
that
crazy
you were
is-
there or you were part of it too.
What's crazy is my
Yeah,
brother,
big
my
bad.
brother did
Big problem.
12 years for not snitching.
Dang, that is not
So,
worth
okay,
it, man.
the definition of snitching to me is more so when you're involved intentionally in a
That's what it
crime
is.
with someone,
And you're not
and
snitching.
then, okay, you're the one that happens to get caught, so you're not gonna go rat everybody else out that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that, I get that. But whenever someone is doing some shit out of your control that jeopardizes your safety, your well-being, or anyone else's around you, and you witness it, the only way to hold that person accountable sometimes is by legal action, is by reporting it. Because the police gonna throw your ass in jail and you gonna think about it and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't wanna be here again.
Yeah.
And you gonna come out and you gonna think twice before you act crazy. But if no one ever called them people on you to hold you accountable and they just said stop doing that, and you clearly don't give a fuck and keep doing it until you think you can do worse and do worse and do worse, and then somebody's dead.
Lives and then multiple people.
When is it? So that's not snitching, and sometimes it's a loved one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a loved one that you have to say, hey, that shit ain't right, bro.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about that enough. And your family is the first people to be able to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So your family fails you, then you go out into the world
That's true.
around people that don't love you. It turns bad real easy.
Very.
Yeah.
So I also had an incident with one of my soccer players' dad. I'm not gonna say any names, but he was at a nightclub, a bar, and he got into it with the security, and he came back and started arguing with him, and I guess got his gun and pointing at him, and this. I don't know. It's just come to the point where like when people go get to drinking and everything, I feel like they turn to a different person. Me,
Yeah.
I think that. I don't know if I'm.
What we
No,
talked
it's
about before is the conflict resolution. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Being able to de-escalate the situation,
There you
or
go.
being able to walk away. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And know
So that
when to be the bigger person.
exactly. We have too much pride and ego. It's not worth it. You
It's
know
not.
what I mean? it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, like I brought up that movie I seen where what's that? I don't know if you've seen it, Tex, but it's like a road rage movie where this guy's so pissed off at this lady for a road rage thing, and he like tells her to say sorry a few times. She doesn't do it. It's like flip him off kind of shit. But then he's like going on a killing spree and trying to kill her, like he's chasing her the whole
Crazy.
movie.
It sounds like Joyride. Remember that one with the
Joyride?
trucker?
think Joyride.
Something
With
like
Paul
that.
Walker.
Yeah,
But-
something like that. Same concept.
I don't know if I've
But
seen that
like
one.
I got to you get to the end of the movie and it's like, damn, I know she feels like if I would have
Could've.
known, and if I would have known
So
that all of
similar.
this shit was gonna happen, I would have just said, "Sorry, sir."
Exactly.
I would have put my
What you did.
ego to the side at the beginning. But at the beginning, we feel so entitled to just be like, "Fuck you," and
Yeah,
be egotistical. Like, if
definitely.
you knew that person was gonna spaz out and that might be your life, you may act a little bit different, you know. So.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
de-escalating is definitely a thing. I feel like to be able to identify when to start to de-escalate a situation right away. Like, all right, you got a twitch in your eye. You look like you don't got shit to lose. You got it. I ain't gonna argue with you. You got it, sis.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Definitely.
got it.
So what part do we play at when it comes to these schools, these parents, the households, when it comes to gun safety? Where do we actually
I
play a part?
personally, I actually growing up, I didn't have a gun in my home. I grew up with a single mom, but now I do have guns in my home.
Gotcha.
They are locked away, but one of my goals is definitely to teach my children when it's locked away, but how to use the gun.
Yeah.
We need to definitely train ourselves to use the gun because too many kids or something like messing with the gun accidentally shoot
Yeah.
themselves. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? But teaching them how to use the gun and always keeping it locked away because if we have our emotions as a child, you can't control it. And
So how young do we think kids should start learning how to operate a gun?
That's a good question.
that is a good question. I would I would make like
Is it
8,
is
9.
young? If there's no such thing.
I
So
think
so
yeah.
I know
Too
that
young?
right now
Everyone's
they're
different.
starting off young. Me personally, I do not like guns. I can't stand guns, and I would not. You would never see me teaching a kid about a gun. But I respect parents that do that also. I'm not gonna say, hey, what you can and what you would do
Yeah.
with your kid and guns.
Yeah,
So, but gun safety is so important.
definitely.
So I have a story in the sense of when we at the end of this statement of gun safety. So do you have anything to say about gun safety?
I mean, we can go into story times.
Yeah.
We have a few story times,
Yeah.
but as far as gun safety, I do feel like I feel you. I'm in the middle because I do feel like whenever you do have guns around, for some reason, it could possibly manifest you having to use it.
Yeah, I agree. I
yeah.
agree 100%. That's why I don't take it out or
But,
carry it on
like,
with me.
It's
But-
just energy. I'm
Yeah,
a very
I
energy
100%
person.
agree.
But are we living in some scary times?
Mhm.
Do I want to know how to operate one?
Mm-hmm.
In case that when I come in contact with one, or if I do decide to have one around, just in case to feel safe. You know, I am a single woman. I live at home alone. You know, I have. You know.
Yeah, you gotta. My
Never
opinion is you do need to protect yours at all means in every type of way. So.
And so I've seen those crazy stories too. So I'm in the middle of that. I haven't crossed over to own a gun yet, but if I do, you know, I would definitely make sure that my kids were. I feel like that's something I would do with them. Like, okay, guys, we're gonna become gun owners, and they have to be mature enough to understand what that means. I want them to know what I know, learn as I learn, and respect it as the same way that I do, so that if we ever do, if they need to use it, you know, and it's their life that depends on it, they can defend themselves. But I definitely don't want to be in an environment where I feel like I would ever have to use it.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Tix, what about you, Tix?
Well, I mean, I think that we got a lot of blessings and curses with, you know, Texas being one of the I think the only state that allows you to
Open
even
carry.
have open carry. But again, you know, we've seen a lot of videos where because luckily somebody had a gun, somebody was saved, and you know, so as far as the guns, you know, being a thing, I mean, it comes down to the responsibility of the person, right? Because you get the young kids who, you know, are rapping or hanging around around with a bunch of, you know, you seen the groups of the kids and stuff, the rap groups that are all still, you know,
I think it's
high school, middle school. I mean, I've done some shoots before where I'm filming, and you know, when they start getting with the guns and they start pointing them at me and shit, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared shitless. I hate that shit. I personally don't like. I don't even like guns. I don't. But I do know the importance of, you know, having and being, you know, prepared or safety wise. You know, if somebody tries to rob you. I mean, I saw the video the other day where the road rage where he got out, he had his gun right there, and the dude just shot him a couple times and killed him right there outside his window, but because he had a gun, he showed it. I mean, now and the dude's gonna get off because, you know, he knew his gun laws. But you know, but kids, you know, it's just an unfortunate thing with what's going on too. You know, there was an artist that got locked up about 4 or 5 years ago. He just got sentenced to life in prison about a month ago. Wedo 10K. He was gonna be the Mexican OT before Mexican OT. Pretty much, put it that way. We don't have that much drill rap at all in Texas. They do in New York and other places, but he was one of the first ones that were doing.
Hey, but check that out.
Rap.
So it's some drill rappers in New York, but the gun laws in New York are so different. What's so size?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna start looking.
Okay, not even
it
that,
up
but
right
but you from New York, right?
Yeah, I was born in New York.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. And not to even say, well, you probably know about it, but that's
Do-
weird. But
Do
we all know
you
about
aware
it.
of
We all know about the
culture,
fact
more
that.
of their culture, the hip hop culture out there.
So do you think
Yeah,
that
like,
it being
I feel like
you think it's a
yeah.
problem being an artist and owning a gun, or would you think you should have your security the one who should be owning the gun and being doing like that?
I
as
mean,
artists?
if you can register, I mean, it depends on the state that they're in, because a lot of times, like, there's been people who got in trouble for flying or or whatever, trying to travel into another
that's true.
In another state, and they have their pistol and they're from Texas, but they go in their state and they can't have it out there, then they get jammed up in cases and stuff like that. You know, but I think if you're a big artist at that point, you really should just be having the security handle a lot of stuff
Yeah.
like that. Anyways, since you can't legally carry it yourself, but I'm not opposed to them legally still having their own gun license. Now one thing I will say that New York is good about versus here in Texas, we don't have that much out here, is there really are hip hop police out there, like in New York too. They're actually, like, when I say that, they have cops that are like gang task force, but they actually listen to and see who's beefing with who, and they know about this shit, who's beefing with what.
They stay on top of it.
You know, there was a good friend of ours, Random, from Audible Studios. Now he's touring with who?
Yeah,
I forget the artist's name, but he's one of the guys that had beef with the Fulio guy that got killed or something like that. So basically, it's hot. He's riding around with this rapper, and it's almost hot that he's riding around with an artist that has, you know, probably some targets on him, right? And again, I don't know what the whole drama was. I just know that something, you know, him being around them, he can get into some stuff.
Yeah,
But they actually got pulled over in New York
I think I've
and
seen
got
that.
escorted out of New York when they were leaving because the cops knew that this guy has beef out here. So the cops, like I said, the hip hop police, they watch a lot more than I think out here. And then maybe out here they're starting to do that, but not really. We don't have like cops that are mainly putting on, you know, investigating rap groups like that. I mean, like I said, since the Wedo 10K stuff and stuff like that, and I just looked up. I know it's been going on out there.
What are you saying, 10K Widow? I had just learned about him today watching what's his name. That's weird that his whole little
290
story.
Jake?
Yes.
Yeah, so Wedo 10K, I've been knowing him since he was a kid. I met him when he was like 8, 9 years old. Me and his dad were in the same rap group years back. Shout out to my boy Chris Cash. Good guy, you know, he's OG in the game. He's my OG.
Yeah.
You know. And I remember when Wedo was just growing up, and you know, from one year to another, once they're in high school.
'Cause he's young.
He's young. He's like 22, 23
Right now.
But when he got locked up, he was like
Doing a life
17, 18. You know, had a couple of bodies and all kinds of stuff. But you know, y'all can look up the YouTube stuff to go down the whole thing. I don't want to really talk too much about it because it is very close to home on my end. You know, I used to live at his dad's crib, you know, with them and him and his wife. Like when I was rapping and trying to come up, and you know, I was the motherfucker on the couch, you know, rolling up. I was a roll up guy back then. But again, I was paying my dues in the streets and shit, you know. And they, like I said, they were like the OGs, and Yeah, when Wedo was gone with his mom for the weekend, I'm literally up sleeping in his room, being able to use his room and stuff,
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah.
So that's how far back we actually do go with
Like
Wedo,
Wedo.
and it's something, a story I don't really talk about. I don't think anybody really knows that we have that connection as far as his father and me being in the same rap group. But if y'all look up in the story with that, you'll see what I mean about that being like a very, man, it was like a tragic story.
Yeah.
You know, a couple lives were lost in the process, and it was some hardcore hip hop beef here in Texas, in Houston, and that was probably one of the most where somebody really gets
Violent,
charged life
yeah.
in prison and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That was
Yeah.
that was some gangsta ass shit.
Nah,
I'll tell you that.
shit went all over.
But it was
did.
something that could have been avoided, probably so. But it's just something that. And now I think it definitely put more spotlight on it now. Instead
Well,
of like now
well,
we should.
I'm gonna tell you the
Get
truth.
police, yeah.
Me, after watching that video today with whatever his name is, what's the name? It could have, but at the same time, it was unexpected because other people got hurt by that.
Yeah, mistaken identity and stuff like that.
The person that at the house, the couple, the mom and the grandma and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, that's lives that are being lost for no
Right.
reason right
No,
now.
yeah.
So gun safety, Sayaz, what do you think about gun safety?
The
What's
gun
your
The
safety.
gun
Part of
safety.
it.
Well, we have some statistics that I
Okay.
could actually
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
up
yeah.
and
I
read.
think you wrote someone.
Yeah, I did. So some of our statistics that I thought was wild is that in 2022, 48,204 people died from gun-related injuries, and 27,000 of that was from firearm suicide,
Wow.
opposed to the homicide. You know, so.
Wow.
That's
We're
wow.
using our guns against ourselves, not even for protection now. So the
Self-sabotage.
mental
Yeah.
gun safety, we should need to have mental psychology and
Evaluations.
often
Mhm.
too,
Often.
because
Yes.
just because you checked out
It
this
should
night,
be hard to get a
it
gun.
needs to be definitely
Yeah.
harder. You know, there's
Consistent.
too many
have
stories.
access.
consistent access to consistent
Consistent. Yeah, you have to be
access to-
show proof of consistent health.
Definitely, that 100%,
We have to.
100%.
Yeah, it can be. And the mental health is crazy, but it can decline very fast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The way
Yeah.
that it works.
Yeah.
so, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And so a
and-
lot of it being.
Self-inflicted,
Mhm.
you know, where you know, so that.
Then you
that's
have the
very-
stories like he just told,
Exactly.
where now it claims the lives. It's like a decision you make about one situation, but then you don't evaluate the full scope of how big that impact is going to be, that one decision is going to be. And so I feel like that's where the accountability part comes in too, of like, okay, so what do we get from all of this, and how do we change it? Like, or what's the resolution? What do we try, how do we try to spin this? What are we learning from these, situations, and
Yes.
how we can move better, like, what do we get out of all of it?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I
That's
could
kind of
definitely.
where I'm at.
It's so hard to just for me, but I think it is just so important for us to have these conversations, because I'm just like, how can we control everybody? How can we really put everybody under a microscope? You know, because people get the guns off of the streets easily. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
even if we are regulating how they purchase their guns, they'll get them somehow
Yeah.
in the streets. You know, I wish I could
Yeah.
compare America to other countries, but we just gotta keep on. I think showing what really matters. You know what I mean? Like, is this pride and ego? You know, learning how to walk away from situations. And I think it's just we gotta keep pushing that.
Ooh,
And,
learn how to walk away before this stuff can even get.
So you think we should start
Started.
like some of these schools should start something like that, classes like that?
Yeah.
Hey, learn how to walk away from situations. learn
Yeah,
how to
for sure.
de-escalate situations.
For sure.
Yes,
definitely.
de-escalation classes. And
Okay.
this is something that we even, want to push on the whole police brutality issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Just
Of
like
course.
we would expect a cop to de-escalate a situation because they're in power. When you have a gun, you're in power.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So why would it not be your responsibility? If you have a weapon that can claim someone's life, then why would it now not be your responsibility to de-escalate every situation you possibly
100%.
could? You know, so and just holding our people accountable for that.
Definitely.
You see somebody that you're cool with saying, "Oh man, and I got my heat on me too. Stop playing with me." What you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
What you mean? Hold on. What's your heat got to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
you don't sound cute. That ain't cool. Hold on, chill. So you saying you want to? Are you saying you want to kill somebody? that should be the response that you get from someone, a friend, when you say that. But instead, we're like, yeah, fuck that. We're just hyping up the situation. We're empowering the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Until when the shit hit the fan, everybody's like,
yeah, definitely.
and crying and shit.
You can't, people like to say, check your friends behind doors. Situations like that, you need to check your friend right then and there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You cannot be waiting.
Right
Some
for it
shit
to, like,
can't wait.
Exactly. Like, you need, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like,
Last you do need
chill.
to be getting checked too, yeah.
Sometimes we gotta know when to tell each other to chill.
yeah.
And we should hold a lot of people accountable, even to the point where, like, because I'm a coach, and learning what I learned with my kids as they grow up, going to middle school, going to high school. I seen one of my students, my players, with a gun, taking a picture with it.
Yeah.
So that right there just threw me off. Like it took me off. I failed.
Yeah.
You felt like you failed.
Yeah.
So it gets to that point. So
Yeah.
I think gun safety does come first to the families, and then make sure that y'all are keeping your gun safety away from the kids. And when those times do come, that you want to teach them and everything, I think y'all should do it as a family.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
And yeah, I mean that's because I'm gonna go ahead and give a good short story about when I was a kid and I found my dad's gun. It was in a box. I was young. Don't nobody know this. Don't nobody know, my family know this. So
No, they do.
now they gonna know. But I got the bullets out of there, and I started hitting them with a hammer. Cause I used to always bother my dad's stuff. I used to tear shit up. I was young. I'm hitting the bullets with a hammer. So gun safety, I feel like, and I've always been afraid of those guns since then. Cause me having that in my mind since growing up. And I've also had dreams.
So you got in trouble after you got caught?
I didn't get caught.
Never knew?
I didn't get caught,
no.
but no one knew.
Until now.
But yeah, so but it hunted me because I had dreams like me and my friends just walking and somebody just coming with a gun, just coming in. Hey.
So what frightened you about what transpired from you feeling comfortable to hit the bullets? Where did your fear kick in? Because clearly you wasn't scared of no bullets.
No,
she was hitting the
no.
bullets.
I
So
know, right?
what made you snap into reality? Do you remember what made you snap into realize how did somebody tell you that was very bad?
No, because
you knew.
I guess I knew the fact that because I did get rid of the bullets, so I knew the fact that I was gonna get in trouble.
So you heard.
So I knew,
you already knew that
in the long run.
How
I don't
old
know
were you
why.
again?
I'm have to say younger than 5 or 6.
You just had good
I
memory.
was young. I was young. I was so young, and that's just the fact. Cause it was weird.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
it got to that point.
The
So I
bullet.
feel like
So you felt guilty about that.
I did.
And because you knew
And
you
I-
shouldn't do it.
and
And that was enough to scare you?
it did. It did
Wow.
the whole time. So I don't own a gun. I never liked the gun. But
you
gun
must
safety
have,
now, I feel
growing
like,
up, you must
damn,
have had
like-
family members in your head to tell you
And
that
I don't
that's
even know
not
how.
a good
Look,
thing.
thing is, I don't even know what happened to that gun no more. Like like I said, my dad never even
You know what's
did
so
good with guns
weird?
like that.
Have anybody lost anybody besides BJ to gun violence? Who have you lost?
Sure. A couple of family members, a couple of my uncles that were killed. They were in the streets. They were, on drugs somehow, robbed. It just led to other things. I know a couple of rappers that have passed away. All through my life, there's always been, we're always hearing about somebody getting killed somehow and, confrontation and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I feel like all of it could have been avoided. A lot of it could have been avoided, but it also kind of things lead to another sometimes. All of it is always kind of drug and alcohol.
So that's
sometimes,
the environment.
Yeah,
Definitely
a lot of
breeds it.
A lot of it has to do with drugs, alcohol,
Just
arguments,
not making
fights.
informed decisions.
A lot of times it happens right after 2 a.m. when the clubs let out, little stuff like that, where
Tragically.
people get shot or on the freeway. Chucky Trill.
Yeah.
We lost some really good artists too that have been shot and killed. Man, it sucks because when you know the person, we actually get to meet them and to hear that they got shot.
Yeah.
You think about what was going in their mind the last couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And, I've been shot at before. I got a couple of close calls, and when I was out young, again running in the streets and getting into fights, and then outside the club, and then now we're running to our car, and you're da 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 da, like you're hearing shit like that all the time.
Right.
A lot of times that used to happen in a lot of our shows, but again, I was rolling around with gangs. I was rolling deep. I was like inviting that shit to the clubs
Yeah.
with me because I wanted to roll deep and look
Feel
good out
safe.
there. And but again, I'm riding with a gang, and there's always a couple of
Drama.
toxic
Something.
motherfuckers. There's always
Yeah.
those. But yeah,
Shit
the little guys
starters.
that are the shit starters.
The little guys.
The little guys that are usually the ones that they're running their mouth and shit.
Do
And
you
then
believe in little man syndrome?
little man syndrome is a real big deal. I'm currently dealing with that shit right now.
Yeah.
I have to deal with that all the time, and yeah, it happens. And the little man syndrome
It'd be
thing,
funny
you gotta
when
watch
that
out. Watch out for the little ones. Those are the
Yeah,
ones that be
no,
starting the
for
most
real.
shit.
Those are the
They
craziest
say the
ones.
pussiest ones. Sorry, excuse my language. The most punkest ones are the wildest ones. You never really know what to expect from a guy who's really punk. Just
Right,
like,
or a woman. You
Or a
know,
woman.
I've dealt with that too. I have this theory that their brain didn't develop as big as the average person, so we have to be a little bit more patient with them because they're just so upset for the lack of control that they have in between the spaces of our height versus theirs. I don't know. It's just some theory that it's just not all the way developed. So,
Yeah,
let's
definitely. Be
de-escalate
the bigger
the
person. Be the
situation.
bigger person.
Hey,
Yes.
so the same person I had to dream about, my homeboy, I'm walking, in the cup. So he has, like, that's crazy because the person, he was a heavy carrier of a hut, but he did it respectfully. He knew he is licensed everything.
Yeah.
Someone in the hood, like, literally, like, lost their lives, and it's two people now because they came at him the same way, with like waving a gun at him. He's telling, hey, don't do that, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And they're drugged up to the point like they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and now they don't have their lives now. So really, I'm dealing with the fact that my friends have bodies on them, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the way of self
Defense.
protecting
And
yourself.
let's talk
Exactly.
about that. I don't think people really think it through whenever they decide to pull the trigger.
That part.
What's gonna happen afterwards?
You're gonna
How
get
they're
caught
how sick-
100%.
Or how sick you're gonna feel. Like people like to act like, oh, I got these bodies, and like it's cool in songs, but really, that's probably the most sickening feeling you can probably
it
ever
is.
feel.
Another thing.
How do you sleep at night?
Another thing.
I'm
Go.
sorry, I had a dream that I killed somebody. And it's the scariest thing ever. Like I woke up like I need to be in Mexico right now.
You
like,
thought you had
but
to
it's- the scariest thing is that you can't take it back.
That is.
No,
that's true.
once it's done, it's done. You can't.
Like when you steal
there's
something.
No changing. Yeah.
It's like when you steal something from somebody, like once they find out, like it's like you stole it. I mean, okay, now you're a thief. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so it's like something you can't change.
No.
The fact that even with like the gun, like somebody, another friend I lost. Shout out to In-House Films, Tony, RIP. He was a photographer, videographer, doing it real big for what's his name. He's at a video shoot, not even in the city, doing a video shoot, and they had a shootout. It was one of those situations with the guns being pointed to what's his name, but it was a shootout, and guess who's the one who got killed? Him. So he's in another city, and he dies doing something he loves, doing video shoots.
Yeah, I think we need safe environments. Like it's so sad that Tequila Bees. I didn't know. You know, it's kind of scary. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But we
Yeah.
want to make sure that we keep it
It's-
safe, though. Still,
Exactly.
we don't want to have this tainted. We are advocating for safe environments, gun safety, because we want to have places to go as artists, as people to
Exactly.
connect.
So
in
we
the
will
city.
strongly be forced with heavy security, man. That's something we are definitely getting into right now because it's harder than what we
Yeah,
think. You know what I'm saying?
it's not cool at all.
It's
It's
not cool.
horrible. We shouldn't. You know, we got to do better as people, 100%.
And to our younger generation,
Yeah.
we should have
Set
a
an
message to them.
example.
We should set an example to ourselves to be able to help
Yeah.
them because they're the ones looking at us
Yes.
and they're learning from what we do.
Exactly.
Or even some people don't even get that knowledge from us to be able
Right.
to a chance to be. So that's how they're so trigger happy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking when I'm watching what's name, I feel like he was too trigger happy. He's already had a mind of his own. What's name? He already had a mind of his own. He didn't
Well, that's
care
what
no
it
more.
was too. Again, when you have those guns and access to them, you want to show them off all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's different. People want you to know they have a gun. They want to show them all. They want to put them in their videos. It's like it's a flex. I mean, it is. It's like in music videos, you got like a checklist of what needs to be the ingredients. You usually have, the cars, the swangers. You got the
Ingredients
girls. You
and
got
the
the
guns.
guns.
Yeah.
Exotic pop cup. You got
Double
these,
cup.
fucking Frenchies, whatever the fuck. You got these certain things that belong in
Trends.
videos that
Do
are
you
trends.
ever think that
The
the guns will go out?
I mean, I've always been scared. I mean, you've seen videos
Do you
of
think
people
it'll
where
stop trending where they will stop like needing to
The
feel
more-
the
the-
need to
yeah,
put
the
it in
more-
their visuals?
The more the cops started looking into their stuff like that, I
Yeah,
feel like they
that
will.
part
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Or has it started to kind of die down?
Cause I've never liked it. Cause look. Hey, I'm a photographer and videographer.
No.
And I would not. I never liked nobody to use a gun in my videos. You not doing it.
That's one of my boundaries too. I'm
You
just
not-
like,
I
hey,
don't
look,
not-
we can make this cool without that, guys. Y'all can do that on y'all's other videos.
You know, I actually just recently made a Halloween thing with my costume,
Yeah.
but because this whole incident happened, I'm more aware of what I'm projecting. Even though it was a costume, I'm kind of romanticizing the gun by using it.
Yeah.
So it's just like I want to be more intentional about the message that we're sending. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I think it's how you do it.
yeah, that's how you do it. for
Yeah,
sure.
like these guys are like literally going to cemeteries and
Mhm.
you know pulling out their gun and you know it's just like literally basically saying in the lyrics.
Yeah.
yeah. They're
It's
rapping
just
about it
kinda
too,
like-
man. That's what's scary.
I feel like when I as an artist I will write metaphorically, so it may sound like that, but
Mhm.
I can testify that it means something else, but you may relate to it by. But you get what I'm saying? But that just means, you know, I'm a straight shooter.
Hey.
Right? That part about it, yeah.
I'm to the point. I'm finna,
That
we're finna
part.
address the issue right off the top, you know? But there's different, you know, artistic ways. I feel like using weapons, like, you know, when you use a bat, we did the bat in the photo shoot, or you do, you know, there's different
I
creative
feel like guns
ways to-
down, gloves up, guns down.
Yeah.
Mm.
100%.
We're gonna have an event coming up. You know what I'm saying? Sponsored by Hustle Time Network and my brother Tex.
Any rappers who want to box and sign
Yeah.
up, let us know.
Yeah,
Let's
sign
get
up
some
right now.
rappers to box.
Yeah, I would
again.
love to
like
be able to do that.
concept.
But
We
instead
need
of
to do
instead of it, we're gonna do that.
And shout out to G Love for when we're doing the fight night stuff. I like that whole concept
yeah.
of including artists, allowing them to train, just to fight exhibition style. No
Exhibition
two beats,
style.
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just the exhibition, just to show,
Thanks, bro.
you know, that hey man, look, we'll throw on the gloves, just to kind of, you know, maybe encourage others to hey, put on the gloves for you.
I mean, I
before you
think
put
we
on
all
a
need
a rap
to-
sheet on you.
Yes.
Let's
Jacket,
make that
put on
a
the jacket.
thing. We all need to get a pair of gloves and have a pair of gloves in the trunk.
Hey, I think that's
Always
That's
keep
hard.
a couple
That is-
pair of
That is
gloves.
fucking.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
that
you
might be
go.
a
Because
thing.
if somebody
if we donate them to
want to
them.
get it at the end of the night after the club because they feeling some type of way.
There you go.
We
That's
got
the solution
All
right
right,
there.
I got the gloves
We
in the
need to
trunk.
do
You
that.
wanna fight? We put on the gloves.
I got the gloves. Let's go.
Put on the gloves. What's up? What's going on? What's up?
Episode
Put the gloves
two.
on.
Let's go.
That was-
Gun violence
That's
awareness.
the
Great
best one.
idea.
Episode
the best
two.
one.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I love that.
So let's, you know, start getting our gloves, getting
Yeah.
ready,
I need
creating,
pink ones.
getting the tools that we need.
So,
Oh, you want a
I
box
was
about
in
it?
Mexico one.
Shut up.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You want a box about it?
Shut up.
Shut your ass up. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and no sore losers.
Argument
Hey,
over
they gonna be
this,
like, I ain't got no
walk away.
gloves.
Yeah.
I got extra ones. You got extra. You gotta have extra
Hey,
gloves.
that
in your-
part.
You gotta have extra ones because you don't know when,
Hey.
right? You gotta have extra gloves in your pocket in your
No, you
trunk.
definitely
Prepared.
need at least 2 pair of gloves in
100%.
every trunk.
Yeah,
That's
That was
hilarious.
good.
I'm with
But
that.
yeah, so I'm excited, and this goes all back to what brought us here
Yes.
together.
Thank you again.
But this is a platform, a safe platform for artists to use.
Shout out to Hustle Time Network.
Hustletown Network. I mean, this is what it's been a consistent platform for a lot of artists to use over the years. Since I started taking being an artist serious, which is going on now 5 years,
God bless them.
Hustletown been doing their thing and been an existing platform
That's great.
that stayed consistent for artists to utilize. So, I mean, we're going to do our part by creating a safe environment. We are literally having meetings, FaceTime calls about how we can move better, how we can create safe environments, how we can hold our loved ones accountable, just so that we can continue to thrive
Yeah.
and feel and give artists and influencers a safe place to come thrive as
Yeah.
well.
So
you know
powerful.
that
So
it's all about us coming together with it. And yeah, we're gonna fuck up,
Yeah.
and y'all are people, and our loved ones are gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna do with it? We're gonna take a lesson from that. We're gonna
What's the solution?
come up with a
Let's
solution.
come up with a solution. Let's try to figure out what's the in-game
and then
ideas.
we're going to execute it, and
Execute.
then boom, we can only grow. Is there going to be some more fuck ups?
Most
Yeah, of
likely.
course.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
are we gonna have a couple pair of gloves in the trunk?
Fuck
Yes.
right. Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you know, are we about it? Yeah, but
Sure.
it's not even about that. It said we want to lead by example. We want to
Yeah.
show everybody that you could be cool, hard, bossed up,
Mm-hmm.
non-confrontational, still hold your own, still be professional. You don't have to do things that you're uncomfortable with doing. You can follow in the spirit and still be cool and still be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how to do
Definitely.
that, then come on over to Hustle Town Network.
Yeah, we got a plan
If you
for you.
tired of them dancing in your videos
Yeah,
and in your
yeah.
shows, come
Come on.
on down to Hustle Town Network. No, but for real, you guys, literally, we got to come together. We really got to do it for us. We got to stop with this division. The enemy loves to divide and conquer.
Yup.
We're stronger together.
Amen.
If we want to beef with someone, we want to feel some type of way, that's cool. Feel some type of way. Talk about it. Speak about it. Come
That's
talk to us
gangsta.
right now on this
Yeah.
mic.
That's
Let me
true.
see how you feel. You know, we're not going to jump on sides or anything. We may give the other person their opportunity to talk and defend themselves. But hey, who are you if you can't sit and have a conversation with the opposing party? You get what I'm saying? So communication. Let's
strong.
talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get what we're gonna get out of it. But dying,
No.
Well,
I mean, that's not solving anything.
Not at
So you know what I'm saying?
Creating
That
problems.
this is what we here. We here to do it. We here to bring the awareness. Y'all have stories. If y'all have lessons that y'all want to share with the people, here's the place to do it. We got events coming up that we want you to be a part of. Because again, we're working hard to create these safe spaces
Yeah.
for the community. So text, like, what we got coming up? What's the next
community
thing?
time. Community
Community
time.
time.
It's
This
the
is
holidays.
the time, bro. This
It
is
is
the
the
time.
Jolly time of the
holidays,
year.
yep.
We're gonna be doing a bunch of toy drives. Be on the
Yeah.
lookout for the announcements of the Hustle Town shopping spree again.
Always goes down.
A couple of turkey drives, I'm sure. So the best place they gotta do that, of course, they follow media from the streets. That is
Yes,
media
media from the
Instagram
streets.
media
Shopping
from the streets.
Yeah.
And then of course Hustle Town Net. And then follow our independent pages too, also.
Facts.
So that way you can stay up to date on where you can come get hooked up or how you can help out. Especially if you're an artist. This is the time of the year that we kind of challenge a lot
That's
of the
true.
artists to come
That's true.
out and give back to the community because, like I said, we be watching throughout the year. We be
Yeah.
seeing all the flexing. We
Yeah.
seen all
We
the
seen
strip
all the
clubs
flexing.
and
I see
the
it.
diamonds and the money and all
Come
that.
make it rain over here on these chillin'.
Yeah. So,
Chill.
Christmas.
come Christmas time, community time, you need to be in that community.
Come show your
That's
ass
hip
over
hop
here.
law. Hip hop law. You need to be in that community time. So.
Yeah, hip hop law for real.
And I'm glad about that too because that's somewhere where BJ was also big involved in that
Yeah.
too. He was definitely in every year's.
Every year he was at all of our he was at Walmart with us and
Yeah.
he was coming out and he buy some really good toys.
Facts,
I
bro.
went back and looked at the footage when I was putting the commercial together for this
He
year.
My
was
sister
buying
Club, my
good.
sister
He buy
Tag.
cocoa melon and them cocoa melon fucking toys are cheap.
That's
Like
hard.
$30 for like a fucking little watermelon head thing. It was like $30 bucks. Remember that one
Yeah.
year? I went to-
Last
we got to
year.
the counter. It was like $44. I'm like, we ain't
Getting
sure
the
what-
good
She
kind.
bought my son one. And then,
I had to buy the baby one.
I think
That's my
we thought
dog.
it was like 20 some, and then when we get to the counter, it was really 40 some. We're like,
Yeah.
oh god, damn, these things are pricey.
Yeah.
Man.
But anything for the kids. Leading up to Christmas, we decided that we're going to do a Friendsgiving
Yes.
dinner setting. I
Thank
would
you, Fab.
love to lock in with Black Lotus is always our first
Oh.
option tech. So
Yes.
we wanted to kind of see if we
Do a
can
Friendsgiving.
maybe do just a day where we can come together and everyone can
Good food.
donate a turkey.
Or bring in a dish.
This is going to be prior to Thanksgiving, so we'll probably want to do this within the next week or two.
Yeah.
Everyone can come donate a turkey, and we're just going to sit down and talk like this, potluck style.
Okay.
Everybody bring some food. It's kind of close industry friends. But outside of that, bringing a turkey, just come drop off the turkey. If you got a turkey, we'll make sure we give it
Give it to the right
the
to the right
community
family,
and
yes.
we get it to the right people that need it. Fam,
Definitely
I know you
got that
definitely
part,
got that part. You know
down
where you
pat.
can
For sure.
bless
77016 is my community.
Mm-hmm.
It's been my community since my whole life. So I can always get back to my community because I always get jealous of other communities. And I'm a jealous person. So I bring everything
Okay.
back. I love the
You're-
other communities, but I bring it back to my
What is
community.
it called? Competitive.
I love it.
Competitive. He has a competitive spirit.
Yes, and thank you to everybody here. Thank y'all for everything that y'all do as artists, as entrepreneurs, just kind people with great hearts. So before we leave, I want to get everybody's social media.
Oh, yes,
let's start
yes,
from that side.
Okay.
Size?
You can follow me at msaez SAEZ222 on Instagram.
Dope, dope.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram, infamous_text. Of course, follow the Hustle Town Net Instagram, and check us out on the Facebook, Infamous Text. Follow that like page and follow Hustle Town Network like page on Facebook, and also our TikToks. We were
TikTok?
We
You on
got-
TikTok?
well, we
Oh,
have- we've been having a
Getting
TikTok.
popping.
I've been neglecting it for the past year, but we now
Okay.
have the designated person who's running it,
Awesome.
and it's already got like another
Congratulations.
10,000 followers just this week alone. So
Awesome.
it's moving. So Hustle Town Network all together for
Love it,
TikTok.
love it.
Nice.
That's
Queen.
awesome.
That's nice.
Man, it's your girl Queen Cazaret. I'm totally active on Instagram, so follow me at KWEENKAZAREE. You know, that's Queen with a K because I be on my king shit too.
Yeah,
I also need you to follow the Forever Faded HTX page. That is a platform that we're working on creating just for virtual performance show sets for artists to build the show set of their life and have that visual attached to it. So we're teaming up with Hustle Town Net, of course, to make that happen.
dope.
And another safe platform for you guys to utilize. We transitioned from doing the events, the open mic
Yeah.
events,
Yeah.
to the more virtual side of things.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
creating those safe spaces, like we
Yes.
said,
Yes.
and also a correct amount of space for you to create and really give your true 100% authentic self that you might not get the chance to do on a stage setting at an
Yeah.
event.
You see all that we
You
do?
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
it's
lot.
like
We got a lot of shit
big
covered.
stuff about it. Hey,
Look, we're really.
it's not even that. There's more.
Oh yeah,
Come into
no.
it. Family, come
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
then we haven't even got to community.
Yeah.
So you know that's also another thing that brings us together all the time.
It does.
I also need you guys to follow the Family Court Mentors page.
Dope.
It is my community nonprofit organization that we're building to help spread family court awareness for those families who are going to family court, fighting for custody of their kids, don't know where to go, don't know what to expect when they go to court, just need that confidence because they're scared to get on the witness stand and ask those questions. So
Exactly.
we'll kind of get you guys in the right hands and prepare the community for, you know, that whole experience because it's important,
It's
you know,
for the
it's
community.
definitely important. So,
Yeah.
fam, take it away.
Hey, you can find me at Ansum17 or 77. One of them. 77.
Ansum.
One of them. Ansum77. I think.
Yeah,
No,
I'm looking
17.
right now.
17. Bet.
Got it.
So,
Yeah, I remember
hey, so
Yep.
Yeah.
man, I want to say thank you again to this table. It's Table Talk, just to let it be known. So we created this on behalf of BJ. Rest in peace, BJ. And you will forever have you in our minds and here with us. So,
Right.
man, I'm excited for what to expect from in the future. And
Yep.
thank you.
Also, Media from the Streets. I know he said that too, but follow the Media from the Streets
Media
page.
from the streets. That's where we at right now.
This
man.
is
Thank you.
definitely how we kind of bridge the gap and
Yeah.
you know the streets voice, the voice of the streets.
It is.
You know,
Yes.
you know that's
Media from
that's
the
what
streets.
you know. That's what we doing. Rest in peace, BJ. In your name, we're going to continue to spread gun violence awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we dedicate the rest of our careers and our lives to making sure we come up with a resolution to set our future up for success.
And
Yeah.
setting the
Any shout outs,
example.
Tex, Sias?
No, text, go ahead.
Man, just shout out to everybody staying down with Hustle Town. Shout out
Yes,
to
shout
all
out
the
to
artists
everybody.
working with us. Shout out to all the promoters we work with. Y'all for what y'all are doing
Sure,
in the
bro.
community. And yeah, man, artists that want to come tap in again, man, tap in with Hustle Town. And shit, man, let's get some promotion out there.
Get it.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't have any shout outs
Okay.
really to the world. You know everyone, I love it. Everyone.
Shout out to everybody watching.
Everyone,
Yeah.
yes, that
Till
part.
next time, y'all.
Thank you.